Alright, so we're going to add some more drum elements, and going back to our course files folder, we are picking up Blip sound, this one here, and go to this audio track here. By the way, if you want to read more and you have a longer title, you can use these brackets here to drag something longer or shorter. And we're going to place it on audio track number 6 down here, Blip sound, drag it over onto this channel. So you see there are different ways of doing this. You can put them into simpler devices, or you can also just play the audio right on the track. It kind of depends on what you want to do. If you want to manipulate the sound over time, you might want to put it into a simpler device. And if it's just like a sound like this little blip one, we can drag it onto the track right away. And this is bar number 9 up here. And we want to play it in the first off position. So I'm zooming in 9, 9.2, 9, 1, 3. This is where I'm going to place the sample. 9, 1, 3, bringing down the gain. You should always do that. It's probably never going to be the right approach to have your channels all set at 0 decibels, because you're sending it all to the master channel, and in some this will exceed 0 decibels overall. So you always have to bring, especially audio samples, down in the beginning. I'm just taking it down to -10 to avoid any loud experiences when playing it back now. Playing it from here. Now it's very well possible that this blip sound isn't really pitched to our F minor scale or F minor chord we're playing in the pad here. So we more or less have that note and putting that one into our pad. Well, let's take a look. Let's actually check what's going on here. Go to audio effects, load up an equalizer, EQ8, well, onto this track. Double click so we can see drop audio effects down here. And now we can drop it here. Okay, so if we're taking a closer look, opening this one up, see, we have some action around this line here. A high spike. Let's move over. See that one? Showing up here. This is kind of interesting. Where are we? We are at around 412 Hertz. I can see that down here. And this is saying we are at G sharp. Or we are at G. I think it's more likely that we are at G. Ableton also has a device called Tuner, but that one might not pick up such a short note, so we have to rely on what we are seeing here. It seems to be G3 if you ask me, and in this case what I want to do is bring it up 1 semitone, because actually going into our pad, taking a look at the pad, we see we are actually playing G sharp up here. So if we are putting this up to G sharp, it should work. So I'm going into the blip clip and I'm transposing it from G to G sharp, 1 semitone up. Oh yeah, that sounds a lot better compared to that's our note. Should work now. Of course, there are other options. We could also transpose it down 2 more semitones. What would happen in that case? So we started here, G3. If we go down to F, 2 semitones down, this is also going to work. So going back, arrow key down, brings us back to 0. 2 more times brings us down to F, right? Check back in the pad. Perfect. Actually, I prefer that for our blip, and closing it down, coloring this in a light gray here and assigning the track color to the clips. Oh, let's take a bit more heavy. No, won't be visible in this grid. So let me pick up some color like this and assign it to the clip. And now we want to play it every once in a while. Let's actually play it again 2 bars later. So how do we do this? We can either move the clip via hand, or we can select 2 bars like this, and then hit Command D and duplicate it over. And we can do the same thing here. Now we already control 4. And we can do the same thing one more time here and put it into bar 17 to bar 25. Okay. Alright, so a little bit of effects on it quickly. We are going to put in a low cut EQ, closing this one. Actually, we already put that one on the track, and I'm just moving it up a bit because I want to get rid of low frequencies interfering with the ones of our bass. Bring it up to 163. If you go higher, that's too much. So I'm going back, keeping this at 163. And maybe we can add in a little bit of reverb. So I'm picking up our audio effects reverb, placing it back here, spin off, chorus off, dry wet down to 37%. Let's see what it sounds like. Now we are entering a little bit of room here, maybe a longer decay time. And actually we want to cut our lows in the input processing and maybe maintain our highs. Okay, so we have a bit more audible tail here. It's just a bit higher, the reverb tail. Decay time. Definitely don't want that. So let's take it shorter, take it 150 or something. Short blip sound. And maybe we take it a bit longer, maybe 2 seconds. Maybe we're also going to bring down the size of our virtual room to somewhere. So our room gets a bit smaller, and also take down the stereo of this reverb tail. It's a bit more centered now. Size can go up a little. So these are really details. Also depends a little bit on how we mix the other elements, but just to show you the possibilities here, how to treat such a blip sound, we have to take another look at it later when mixing this track, when arranging everything and putting everything together. Let's keep it like this for now. Okay, and also overall we're going to bring it down a little more. Okay, so we're moving over to the next step.